What is going on, guys? My name is Jack McNeil. I'm here with JZAC, the rapper from New Hampshire, the great state there, or Massachusetts, New Hampshire, I believe. I'm very excited today to have him on board. He has kind of skyrocketed in the past month, I would say. I actually caught on to him from a Twitter video, and I think he kind of represents what is possible in this day and age with social media. You know, you can be rapping for a year, put out great material. You look at your earliest videos, I mean, really good stuff, visual implementation to what you're saying, the keyboard Kenny's, all these different things. You're trying really hard, and all it can take is one Twitter video to be noticed by some of these bigger accounts, the freestyle accounts, the world star accounts. Even if they don't credit you, enough people still find you because it stand out that much. And, searching for you, found you got an EP, you have all this stuff going on, putting out new music very fast. So before we get going, JZAC here, Jerry, my man Jerry, tell me how this past month and a half, 2 months has been for you to kind of see some of these things go into fruition and kind of see a really solid fan base starting up.
Yeah, man, it's dope. I mean, first of all, it feels like surreal still just because, like, I was working for so long and, like, I got fans and stuff, but not, like, at this pace. This is what every up-and-coming artist wants to see is, like, their art just to be seen on a bigger scale. So to finally get it, like, everywhere, people in, like, Sweden and stuff be like, I listen to music every day. That's, like, whoa, like, really, it's really happening now. You know what I mean? It's, like, feels good. It's crazy.
Definitely. Now, the Cold Cuts EP, I'll jump right to that. This was your most recent full project. You've released several singles since then. One of them just hit 50,000 plays on SoundCloud, should have been a globetrotter. This one you sent out for free to, a lot of people, several doses. We'll get to kind of giving back to the fans in a second, but I listened to the full tape multiple times. It's been in the car for a while now. The first half of the EP, I noticed it was kind of more emotional messages that hit home with living with regret, expectations, career paths. And then later in the tape, it seemed like there are more songs that kind of just were like really fun to listen to. Was there a progression with that? Were you trying to kind of make sure people understand kind of your story before they get to not the more fun songs? They're all good songs, but was there a reason why those songs were first, or does that just happen to play out that way?
No, I definitely did it for a reason. I'm like real big into like the art aspect, if that's what you want to call it, like the track listing and stuff. So like that EP itself was like just songs I was working on like the last like 6 to 8 months, and I think just like a lot of deeper songs came naturally because just like the state I was in, you know what I mean? Like I didn't have a ton of fans yet and stuff, and I was like, damn, like is this really a thing? You know what I mean? Just trying to do all that. But then I've always been, I'm not just that guy. I've always liked fun songs and mainstream music, you know what I mean? Just doing it right. So I kind of like wanted to throw that side of things in there too, just to show people I'm more versatile. And, fun music's good too. There's a time and a place for everything. I don't want to be the guy that's just like sad all the time or whatever. So that was kind of, and I figured that the last half could be,
Right, no doubt. Good balance there. In the first song of the tape, hope you're doing well. The hook is, I hope you're doing well, hope you're doing well. And you talk about alcoholism, drug abuse, and even kids your age dying. What was kind of the story behind that song? That song, very deep song.
Right. Yeah, so that's definitely like probably hands down the most personal song I ever made, just like different situations in my life and even just the town I'm in. So that kind of just came from, just watching, kids my age finally growing up and, kids around here, kids die, and it's like, it's crazy to think, like, it's almost surreal until you see it happen around you, you know what I mean? Then you see, like, some sort of tragedy, and you're like, whoa, like, this is a real thing. Or you start seeing kids your age, getting heavily into drugs, and you're like, what's going on? Like, we're just kids 3-4 years ago, like, and then you hear stories about it, but then when it's, like, you're a friend or a friend of a friend, then it's, like, all of a sudden it's, like, very real, and it kind of just, like, makes you take a step back and be like, whoa, like, this could happen to anyone. So.
No, absolutely. And speaking of kind of 3 or 4 years ago, you're a kid, and now your whole life is in front of you. The second song of the tape, Regrets, you mentioned, friends moving away with careers, and kind of the whole thought of regret. And it's something that everyone kind of has to deal with, whether you want to call it regret or not, whether you want to admit that there's regret or not. Did you write this at a time where your songs kind of weren't popping off and you were questioning whether this was the right thing for you to do? But then also in the song, you have that sense of affirmation, like you know, I feel like I should be doing this, but in 10 years, maybe I'm in the same place. Maybe this won't be the same move. And then adding on to that question, just because I'm personally curious, you know, how old are you right now, and what's your current situation? You know, I noticed a YouTube video, some of them a year, 2 years ago, dating back. So what's kind of your timeline in terms of how long you've been rapping in that sense?
Right. So to answer the first part of the question, in the song sense, I think that's just like every person in general. You know, you could be 100% sure of something or feel 100% sure about some way, but just as a natural human tendency, you're gonna have doubt at some point, you know. So I think that was just kind of the idea of making the song. It's like, you know I want to do this. I know I have the ability and it's gonna happen, but like you can't help to think, you know, some late night it kind of pops in your head like, well, maybe this isn't gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like that's how life works sometimes. But so that was kind of the idea behind the song. And the second part of the question, yeah, I've been doing this a good amount of time. I've actually been like seriously rapping for like 4 or 5 years now. I look a lot younger than I am. I think people see the videos and they're like, he's probably like 18, 19, but I'm actually 24. So I have been doing it for a few years, and yeah. So I mean,
yeah, I noticed the 24 number in a few other songs, so I assumed it, but just wanted to confirm it. So 4 or 5 years rapping. The oldest video on your YouTube is just dating back like a year or two ago. How important has the video aspect for you been there?
Probably the most important thing. I think we're at a time, we're at a day and age where, you know, people want to put a face to the artist. You know, it's not just like you're hearing people through the radio. People want to see. They want to, you know, be a part of what you're doing, you know, and seeing you and relating to what you look like, and definitely plays a big part. So, and then especially how easy accessible it is. Like anybody can make a video on an iPhone nowadays. It's not even like 6, 7 years ago. You needed like, you know, crazy technology to put out a good video.
Right. The real question is, when will JZAC get on Vine? I think some people are waiting for you to put your mastery into 6-second loops.
It's funny. Honestly, I used to have a Vine and I kind of got into it, and then like it just faded out quick. But it's funny you brought that up, because like the last couple months, I'm like, damn man, I think I gotta get back into Vines, because I'm just like on top of rapping, I just enjoy doing like funny shit and just like.
Oh yeah, it's a good content. I have to mention the 4th song on your tape really stood out to me too. It's called "Breathe." Another song that seems like it could go either way for the most, whether personal or deep, however you want to put it. It seemed like you really poured your heart into it, mentioning some kind of more negative childhood memories per se, parents, anxiety. I know you said the other one was your most personal song. Do you feel, just as a casual, as a listener to this song, would you say this would probably be your most hard-hitting song or deep song?
Yeah, I'd say that one is the most personal song in the sense of like me, because that song's all like about, you know what I mean, just myself and growing up, like you said, the childhood. Hope You're Doing Well is more, you know, outbound in that sense. But yeah, that's crazy, because I'm putting like all my feelings and stuff on the line for everybody to hear. So like it's not easy, you know what I mean? It's just crazy to think.
No, absolutely. Do you, when you're writing songs like that, I mean, do you ever kind of question, is this something that I want everyone to know, or do you feel obligated to, as part of your story, to kind of let people in on that?
I think it goes both ways. Like sometimes I'll definitely write something and I'll sit back on it and be like, damn, like, is that okay? Or like, am I calling someone out? Or like, you know what I mean? But I never do it like with that intent to like make someone look bad, or someone like, you know, parents or whatever, someone in family. Like I do it more just like you said, to tell a story. I feel like if I could help other people get through their situations, you know what I mean? Like that's what it's all about really for me. And people have reached out to me that, which is like already, you know, like a landmark for me.
And you mentioned, you know, helping people out. You know, you're really big onto kind of interacting with your fans and giving back in that sense. You know, you had several kind of times of you're giving 75 free copies signed. I think I got on the 2nd or 3rd batch where I ended up getting the EP. You know, obviously part of your story is unique because a lot of what has spurred in the past 2 months has been just completely social media driven. So in that sense, you know, it kind of is fitting that you're reaching out to these fans social media wise. They're emailing you, you're setting up free CDs. It's what you have to do in this day and age. How important is it for you to continue to give back to your fans? And you know, do you view this kind of the CD thing as just kind of the ultimate marketing tool, in the sense that, you know, your songs are being heard everywhere now, and there's going to be some buzz there, just kind of like there would be buzz if someone retweets your stuff?
Exactly. Yeah, and that's definitely why I do it. I look at just being as an artist, you know, being an artist is a brand, and the fans is like the customers. You know what I mean? So I think customer service is the most important thing. You know, you give somebody a CD that didn't cost me much to make, send it their way. You know, take a little money out of my funds for them to show every single person in their hometown. You know what I mean? So it's like that goes a long way to one person to just get a physical copy and being like, if this guy sent me this for free, like I'm a fan for life now. So kind of putting in that extra stuff now comes back like 10 times more your way. So that's kind of why I do it.
Absolutely. Now, for Jerry Renesis, a song that you put out, the 7th song in the track, if people are listening to Cold Cuts EP, it was used Carmack, banger of a beat, I will say. I think I've tried to do something on that song before too. Who is your regular producer? Do you use many depending on kind of the project? And then in terms of when you're making the song, does it usually start as you have a bunch of stuff written and then you're kind of just hearing some songs, you're seeing what fits, or is it more, hey, I have this beat for you, I know you can do a great job with it, and then you kind of write from there, or does it depend on the song? I think people are kind of curious, what is the process of actually producing and writing a JZAC song?
Right. So yeah, I do have, I get beats, from all over, like that one, like obviously you said it's not my beat, but I do have a producer, his name's Rocky Hoare. He actually produced the Globetrotter track. He doesn't produce everything, but a good chunk he handles most of the bulk I do. And as for the writing process itself, I definitely need to hear the beat first. I have ideas and stuff I'll place into it, but like it only comes like for the right beat. So most of the time, somebody will send something my way, or I'll find something on the internet, and that'll kind of spark the idea first. I know some people, I met some artists who like write whole verses and then like kind of just place into songs. Like I can't do that. To me, it's like the opposite. You know what I mean? Like the beat is like the canvas, and I have to hear it and do that, and it kind of gives me the ideas more. So
yeah, absolutely. Now, speaking of kind of your way of doing things, just for fans curious, what is kind of the daily routine for JZAC? You're out east, you're 24, the rapping is starting to really work out here. So what is your daily routine? What are your obligations?
Daily routine, I work a part-time job, so that kind of sucks, but hopefully that's soon once I can start making some money off this. But besides that, just doing music every day as much as possible. Like you said, there's so much social media, so you got to keep up with that. And it's not easy between doing that, making music, interacting with fans, and also doing like the business end of things. That takes up a lot of time trying to, figure out everything, trying to get blogs, and there's so much to it nowadays. And it's not like I have a company or like a label behind me. So it's like me and 2 other guys, and we kind of doing everything ourselves. So, but besides that, I ball. You could obviously tell because I'm a Globetrotter and I should have been. But doing that, man, yeah. Reading books,
Reading books. Gotta catch up on that.
Yep.
Now, in terms of what you're doing now with working on new music, what can you tell us about that? Is it a full project? Is it going to be kind of the singles wave for a while, and then on the show front, is that something where you're looking into kind of travel this summer, or are you going to wait till you're at more higher benchmark of followers where you can probably sell out a show, a smaller venue show in a place like Chicago or something like that? Because the trajectory you're heading, I assume that's definitely going to be reachable within the next year or so.
Right. Yeah. So that's definitely the goal, is to probably just keep building the fan base up for the rest of this year. And really, it will be a full-length project, and we'll kind of lay it out more formally this time. There'll be singles with some music video, like real music videos. And when it drops, it'll probably be on all the streaming sites, Spotify, Beats Music, all, there's new one every day. But so doing that, and then definitely trying to tour, or at least get some shows out in different parts of the country for next year. I don't know, I don't know how a full-length tour will work yet, but like you said, definitely there's spots. There's Chicago, Arizona's a big one, maybe out in Cali. So we'll see.
Absolutely. Now, how many shows have you actually played? I know I've followed your Snapchat, and a while ago you played it looked like more of a house party type of show. Still got the banner, JZAC, and everything there. But how many shows have you played, and is that the most fun part in your mind of doing this, or do you really like the kind of production side of it all?
It's definitely both. I love them both. 2 different things, but I probably played over 50 shows, I'd say.
Okay.
But yeah, I've done shows New York City, Boston, obviously New Hampshire, kind of like all along up the East Coast and stuff. So I mean, it's been I did some house party ones too. Basically, I mean, I've been at a level where I won't say no to many shows. So as long as there's some people to entertain and a microphone, I'm there.
Absolutely. Now I gotta ask, were you surprised with the success of "Should Have Been a Globetrotter"? I mean, obviously it has the most plays of any of your songs right now. But in my mind, it's a great song. But you got songs all on your tape and such that I think match it or even go above it in terms of whether it's catchiness or just overall quality of it. How surprised are you that this was the song that blew up?
Definitely, definitely a little surprised in a sense, but it kind of makes sense too, just because, like you said, with the video and how it popped off on so many of those different accounts, even ones where I wasn't tagged. So it kind of like goes hand in hand with that. People like, oh, where's the full song of this? Where's the full song of this? So even if, I'm sure all those people didn't check out all of the music, but that song's kind of like the standout thing with the video.
Absolutely. Now, the last question is in regards to the video. I'm not sure when it's supposed to be dropping, but what should fans expect with the most recent video? And is the 30-second Twitter clip video, is that something that you're going to do with all new releases, or is it just some of them? Or I guess if you want to, I mean, what's the kind of general thinking on those videos?
Yeah, it's a good question that you said that, because I don't think they're originally like planned to be releases like that. It's kind of just happened because there was so much demand for it. Like even with Globetrotter, everybody was like, "Where's the full song? Where's the full song?" We're like, "Oh wow, like people want a full song for this." You know what I mean? I definitely think that will be a thing for releases, because it gets all those videos get so much exposure that people want to hear more of it. It's kind of like a sample. But what to expect? I don't know. I kind of got to leave that for a surprise aspect that I like. So
yeah.
Wait and see, but it'll be good.
Definitely understandable. I guess I have one more question at you, and it's still formulating in my head. But I thought the keyboard Kennys, and you have the more recent video talking about kind of how life has switched to people just scrolling on Vine and Twitter and the World Star, and it is sort of, there's an ironic part of it, because you look at where you've blown up has been on those social media platforms. You know what I mean? So in a way, we're kind of talking about people that may be finding you because they're scrolling. Is that for you in your life, at least, with balancing, kind of real life with the social media life? How important is it for you to kind of balance the time between that? Because I know me personally, I struggle with, man, I shouldn't be on Twitter this long. And I think everyone our age kind of struggles with that. And it's something that you hit so hard on. So it's very relatable to everyone, and but ironically, everyone's retweeting it, and they're doing this on Twitter, something that the song is kind of talking about. How do you view that balance between the social media and how much time is spent on it? Obviously, it's kind of working out in terms of people finding your music, but how do you view that, at least?
Right. Yeah, it's funny because it is like a double-edged sword. You know what I mean? I'm talking about it, but like, the same way, that's how all those people found my music. So I think just the key thing is balance. I think a lot of people that I talk about in the problems like that are more the people who don't have balance with it. People live their whole lives like vicariously through a keyboard. Like that's not the way to do it. I think you got to find your, even sometimes, like you said, I get caught up too. Sometimes I'll be on Twitter for like a few hours and I'm like, what am I doing? I just wasted time looking through, like watching these random videos that didn't benefit me whatsoever.
Right.
But obviously, I mean, it's nice too, just to kill time sometimes.
Absolutely. All right. Well, JZAC, thanks so much for joining us today on Runaway Brand Media. I want you guys to go ahead, if you're not following him. I'm sure you are if you're tuned in, because he's got a very loyal fan base there at JZAC Music on Twitter, SoundCloud the same. The SoundCloud's up to 2,300 followers, something around there. Twitter's definitely up there as well. Look for the new video to be dropping. Look for a new project relatively soon. Never want to rush an artist here. But Jerry, thanks so much for joining us today. It's definitely an honor to talk to you. I've been following you, and definitely excited to see what you do next.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that was Jerry, or JZAC. Let's go by JZAC. That's the name right there. All right. Everyone have a great day, and continue to listen to JZAC. There we go.